What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I got some more breaking news for you already. As we know, long snapper Blake Ferguson, the rookie that they picked up, I believe, in the 6th round, if I'm not mistaken. Since he is on the COVID-19 list, I'm assuming because he tested positive for it. I don't recall exactly who tested positive and who was there, just because they were in possible contact with somebody. Benito Jones, I believe, has come off, and I believe that's why, because he was just simply potentially in contact with somebody. But anyway, the news is that Dolphins signed long snapper Rex Sunahara. Let's see. The Miami Dolphins have signed rookie long snapper Rex Sunahara, who will likely handle the snapping duties while Blake Ferguson remains on the COVID-19 reserve list. Ferguson, the former LSU long snapper the Dolphins selected in the 6th round of the 2020 draft, is one of the 5 players the Dolphins placed on the COVID-19 reserve list because they either tested positive for the virus or had exposure to someone who has become infected by coronavirus amid the pandemic. At this point, there's no timetable for Ferguson's return, but he needs to test negative for the virus 2 times before he's cleared to enter the team's facility and start practicing with the Dolphins. Linebacker Jerome Baker, defensive tackle Zach Seiler, cornerback Cordrea Tankersley, Ferguson, and rookie defensive tackle Benito Jones were the players placed on the COVID-19 reserve list earlier this week. Jones was taken off the list 2 days after being put on it, become the first NFL player on the COVID-19 reserve list to be removed. Until Ferguson is removed from the list, the Dolphins need someone to help the kickers and punters get their work in. That's where Sunahara comes in. He's an undrafted free agent from Western Virginia, where he's a finalist in 29, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. So, on one hand, obviously, they do need somebody, but think about what that means then. So, first of all, I mean, they picked this guy, so their rookie, the rookie 6th round pick that they got, right, to be their long snapper, to replace veteran John Denny, who's been a stalwart and the longest tenured player, who, if I'm not mistaken, he replaced another rookie that they had picked up that replaced John Denny. Anyway, eventually replacing John Denny. My point is, they never had to get rid of John Denny. But point is, they picked this guy, and now he's not going to be able to develop with the team because he's got to be on the COVID list. And then, in the meantime, with, as it stands, no current timetable, we'll have to wait and see. But as it stands, that means Sunahara is going to get the snaps. But then, what's going to happen, hopefully, when Ferguson comes back, right? Because I would venture to guess the only way he wouldn't come back is if he died. So hopefully he doesn't die, and hopefully he comes back, and he comes back, clean and clear, and he's all good to go. But if that's the case, then that means however long Sunahara got reps, he wouldn't, and Sunahara would have, who would likely then be cut. And all of that time, all of that practice time would be wasted, essentially, right? Because that dude wouldn't then be on the roster, and the only way it wouldn't be wasted is if Ferguson doesn't ever come back. I mean, maybe he decides to opt out, so I guess death isn't the only option there, but maybe he decides to opt out, right? Or what have you. So maybe if he doesn't come back, then it wouldn't be a waste of time, but then there goes your rookie 6th round pick, one way or the other. So it's just, again, no matter what, this whole situation and the fact that the NFL and the owners are forcing the situation is just causing more and more issues to pile up, and they're not getting rid of the initial problems, right? Or stopping the virus or any of that stuff. So, at least not to this point. But we'll see. Maybe they can clean it up and they can, get it going, whatever. But, I'm a bit skeptical. Anyway, real quick, I do want to mention one other thing. Apparently, Jesse Davis had spoke to reporters or whatever and mentioned that he was playing, or practicing rather, at center. I understand wanting to have like position flexibility and stuff, and I think it was Alan Poupar who apparently wrote an article about how It raises some interesting, what he said. It does bring up some interesting possibilities, is what he said. Look, our line last year was absolute trash. I believe some of the guys that they chose were reaches, but even if they're not, they're going to have a hard time adjusting and to the NFL, especially under the current conditions, let alone the fact that they're rookies. And I just don't think that they're going to, they're going to perform well, right? And so to me, ultimately, what it signals is not that there's some amazing possibilities because look, I mean, Jesse Davis, he performed best at right guard. He did not perform very well overall at right tackle. He's expected to go back to right guard, and Robert Hunt is expected to go to right tackle, but they also have talked about, Robert Hunt at right guard, which would then maybe put Jesse Davis at right tackle, which he wasn't very good at. But now if he goes to center, then, well, what about Ted Karras, who's the presumptive center? Well, if he's practicing there and taking practice reps there over Ted Karras, well, I don't like that because I would want my starting center to be in there. But then if you give him reps and then he's the starting center, well, then that makes your Ted Karras signing not look as good. And he was going to be probably what I would project one of the better offensive linemen on the line. So that is, to me, more concerning than brings up, some good possibilities about how they're going to be able to do creative things on the offensive line or whatever kind of, weird fantasy bullshit you want to kind of, try and create. Anyway, whatever. I just wanted to mention that as well. Anyway, so with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys enjoy my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.